been a minute, but I finally got a shiny that you don't have.
I just started a live stream, but what's up?
I finally got a shiny that you don't have that I really like, Linda.
Very good. Hey guys, it's me. I'm trying to get my screens and everything set up.
I just came back from the dead.
Yes, you slept all day.
Not all day.
Alrighty, I can't see anything yet, so give me a second, you guys. You, that's me. That's me. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, ripe and ready. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. My Wednesday is one of the Wednesdays of all time. Alrighty. Look at me. There we go. It's me. Alrighty. Let's see how many people we can get to join in with us today. Move my trash can out of the way. It's probably a good idea. I haven't been down in my office in a while, so it's kind of a mess. It's a trash can. Hopefully I don't get flagged for what I just did. We'll see. It's been a while since I've gone live in the Armory, guys. No, I actually have a really old retro case that I could build a NAS out of. But no, I don't currently have a NAS. I probably should. YouTube does have a lot of hurt feelings. There is a wind advisory in effect. I am aware. Make a phone call. Come on. This. Did you guys all get a notification for my for the live stream? By chance? Mayhap? Okay, so you guys got one. That's cool. That's good. It's good that some of the notifications are working. Okay, let's talk. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of talk. There's not really anybody... Maybe this is not the right time of day to be doing live streams. I don't know. So... Alright. Is that a little bit better? Maybe. Stand off to the side a little bit. So how's everybody's week been? Oh, I should put my hat back on. I should put my hat back on. I'm back. 9 people watching. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. What's going on? Maybe we should grow. I am trying to grow my mustache back. I promise I'm trying to grow my mustache back. Who wants to be our banner? Who wants to write a banner message? You probably are, Tusk. You probably are. It happens. It happens. We all die every once in a while. Like that whole, but did you die? Yeah, sometimes it happens, but usually we bounce back. You know, that's what's important. Bouncing back from being dead. So I was actually thinking, about maybe doing a giveaway, doing like a subscriber giveaway or a donor giveaway where I gave away some of my woodland camo. How cool would that be if I gave away this old woodland camo jacket that I have? This was legit the one I was issued in basic training. It's got part of my serial number on it. I'd get rid of that part, but I do have it. What else do I have in here? I can't remember what all I have in here. This might be Chem gear. It is some Chem gear. Look at that. It is some Chem gear. So, you have better cell service walking at the top of the mountain than you do at home? That tracks. Gotta fix that screen size. So who's excited? Who is excited? No, the military, I mean, there might be a couple of militaries that use woodland. I can't even remember what the actual pattern's called. It might be here. Hold on. The pattern isn't written on here. There might be a couple of militaries that use this woodland pattern still, and there might be like really special occasions when they might use it, but I think overall, like OCP and multicam does a better job just across the board, and it has better thermal ratings and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So not enough, Jolly, not enough. This isn't an OF channel, my friend. It's just below average Utah dad. Bunch of Mexicans. What's going on, buddy? How are you? So yeah, obviously some shit happened this week and over the weekend that has messed with the libs and messed with the rest of the world, and America got the highlight again, and suddenly it's like we're the worst country in the world again. I would still take, no matter what, and I mean, I know all of you, the 11 people that are in here right now, I know that all of you are in the same boat. Like, you would all take America over any other country in the world. And here's the great part. If you don't want to take America over any other country in the world, you can just go to that other country. Now, there might be a few stipulations because those other countries, they don't just let people go into their country, unlike some countries. You have to be able to contribute. And so when we have people that are, I don't know, have gender studies or underwater basket weaving degrees, guess what? They aren't going to be able to contribute to society in the way that those other countries want. So they don't let those people in. It's kind of weird how that works. It's really crazy. It's a crazy concept. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, everyday carry is kind of crazy. Or sorry, everyday, I meant North Korea is crazy. It's ridiculous to me that we have a Western country. There's a government in a Western country that has more strict, or as strict, of free speech laws as some of the communist countries that are out there. Like the UK is literally putting people in jail. Canada is trying to put people in jail. Australia is getting ready to put people in jail for things that they say. Yeah, that worked out really well for them. It is crazy to me. So yeah, so let's talk guns and gun control. Dude, so here's the thing, Tusk. Like, there's a guy on social media, and he doesn't get into politics very much, very, very, very limited. But if you've ever watched the channel, the two dudes, Josh and Jace, or Brit with an accent, or Josh from England. It's Josh from England is Josh's like personal social media. Brit with an accent is Jace's social media, and then they have one together because they're buddies called Josh and Jace. Josh and Jace love America. They love coming here. They frequently said that they would love to come here and live here, but they don't really know how that would work because one, they have family in the UK and they really care about their family, but they can't stand. They've talked about it. They can't stand paying taxes to like use the internet in the UK or have a TV. They talk about all the time where people will say things about America and they'll be like, yeah, I never felt safer in my life than when I was in America. I didn't think I was going to get stabbed. I didn't worry about somebody asked them like, well, what about all the guns and shooting? And they're like, we went and shot guns and everybody's pretty cool. Like it sometimes happens, but not where we went, and like not as often as the world thinks happens, because that's all anybody talks about in America because we have guns. It's like, how often do we hear about shark attacks? I guarantee you there's at least 100 shark attacks a year in the world. But we don't hear about shark attacks because, like, unless it's like a series of shark attacks that all occur back to back in one place, then it might be weird because that might be a behavioral thing. But yeah, don't go on vacation to Iraq. Don't go on vacation anywhere in the Middle East except maybe the Emirates. Like the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, like Dubai. You can go to Dubai. Dubai is pretty chill. And there's a strong enough like US military presence there in Dubai that you'd be set. So, yeah, I currently have like with my job, I currently have like 35 days of leave. I don't ever go on leave. No, you're right, dude. Tusk, you're right. Like when people compare us to Canada, because Canada is still subject to the English. Australia is still subject to the English to a degree. Not as much, but they still do pretty socialistic things. Fish sticks. That's fine. Fish sticks. You could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Is it men or is it women? What are they doing? Are they just going and like eating food? If they're just going to eat food, then yeah, they're probably going to be okay. If they're just going to go and eat food and go do touristy things. There's other nations that go to Iraq and Iran. Okay, there's lots of nations that can travel there. We don't travel there because if you're an American, you're a target. So, no, I get that, Tusk. I get that. Like, I've been to a couple places. Okay, the one I can talk about is this. Been to Qatar, and I can talk about going to the Pacific. I can't talk about all the places I've been to in the Pacific or in the Middle East, but I've been to at least there. And yeah, so like Australians will go to places like Iraq and Afghanistan. You get British people that go to Afghanistan. You get Canadians that go to Afghanistan. But all of those countries, like, they didn't spend 20 years dropping hundreds of thousands of pounds of munitions. Hey, come here. Coco, get out of there. Coco, come here. Go upstairs. Sorry, Gilly Dog was trying to go into a room she can't go into. But yeah, that being said, like, what is there to gain? Like, if an Australian, I'm not saying that it should happen. I want to make sure that is. I want to make sure that I'm being very clear when I say this, but Australia is one of our allies. They're a great ally, all right? And, like, they help fight the cause of Western civilization. We're all for that. That being said, if somebody from Australia, a civilian, goes to Korea or China or Afghanistan or Iraq or Iran, one of these hot spots, and they get kidnapped, all right? If that were to happen, like, how's the Australian government going to respond? They're going to be like, hey, this is really bad. You need to give them back. And their government's going to be like, well, you know, we don't really know what's going on, and we're going to try to help out. Like, governments in general don't, with few exceptions, they don't want to go to war and have military conflict. But at the same time, if a country isn't as willing to do it and doesn't have the capacity to really make threats of retaliation for doing stupid things, then there's not a bunch of risk there. And there's also not a bunch of reward. Like, you have to remember, like, yeah, you have to remember, like, there has to be a return on investment. So, like, what's the GDP of Australia? Like, to give you an example, what's the GDP of Canada? Well, to give you an idea, and Tusk can attest to this because he's a Texan, like, Texas, the state of Texas brings in more money than the entire country of Canada. What's Canada going to do? Canada can barely afford to, like, provide medical care for their people because it's socialized. And so they charge everybody for it. But then, like, you get a 75-year-old man who gets some type of cancer, they're not going to treat that dude. They're going to treat all the people that are, like, 15 to 40 first. The people that can go to school, serve in the military, go get a job. They're going to take care of those people before they take care of a 75-year-old man. It's just the reality of it. That's how socialized medicine works. That's how it works in the UK. Like, when people need surgeries and shit. Thank you, Renasco. There we go. Renasco knows. Actually, I would totally take Alberta. If Alberta wants to secede from Canada and become the 51st state, I think we should absolutely let Alberta. Albertans are pretty, like, that's right near Canada or Montana. They're pretty if they could have I guarantee you there's people in Alberta that have ARs that don't tell anybody. ARs and AKs and SKSs. So, but all of Canada can't become the 51st state. So, I mean, they kind of already are a state without being a state. So, it's not even F-16s anymore, dude. It's F-18s. They don't have F-16s. They have F-18s. They might have Super Hornets, but I think it's just the smaller ones. I think it's the original Hornet that they have. I don't know that Canada has any F-16s. I should probably know that as an Air Force dude, but I don't. Yeah, that doesn't shock me, Renasco. So yeah, it's a whole thing with the shooting that happened in Australia. Which, by the way, you're going to see a lot of stuff talk about like the dude who got up, the Muslim who got up to save the Jews. So that dude is a Christian. I think his name is Ahmed Al-Ahmed, and he is a Muslim who converted to Christianity, and then he was driven out of his country. He had to leave his country because of the persecution that he was receiving and the death threats that he and his family were receiving. So he's a Christian. The dude that got up, tackled the guy with the gun after he'd already been shot twice, and then went after the shooter in Beach Bondi or whatever. That dude was a Christian. So, of the cat, we need a member emoji of Aurora. Of which cat? Well, you guys only ever see Aurora. You don't ever see our other cat. Like, you maybe have seen the other cat in a couple of my videos, but we have a calico cat, and she is the biggest scaredy cat you've ever seen. Fish sticks. You're going to move to Hawaii? I mean, it's pretty there, but are you going to work in the defense industry? Because if you're not working in the defense industry and you don't own a boat to like have your own really good fishing charter or scuba charter, like, are you going to work at a hotel? Because it's like tourism, and even the fishing and stuff, like it's tourism. There's the government's there, so there's like government contracts in the military. I guess you could be a doctor. Are you a doctor? So, yeah, Australia, like, I think it's horrific what happened, but I don't think people should be surprised. Australia's been doing the same thing we've been doing, same thing the UK's been doing, bringing in a bunch of immigrants, very little like background into the immigration process, and then some, it's not hard to apply for because they do have guns in Australia. Some people have handguns. It's extremely hard to get a handgun, but they do have handguns. They have shotguns and hunting rifles. You saw that, and that was a straight pull bolt action rifle. So I mean, you just pull it. It's not even like a Mauser action, straight pull. So that's why he was able to just, which I guarantee you, Australia is going to say it has, like, you can't have, they're going to go after straight pulls. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go after the straight pull rifle, bolt action. And they're going to say it has to be either single, like where you can't have a box magazine in the rifle. It's going to be either that, or they're going to say all rifles have to be Mauser action. Oh yeah, Vernasco, it's truly unfortunate because what sucks is, and I'm going to criticize our president, the U.S. president, if Trump wouldn't have made the jokes that he did and kept going with Canada about 51st straight, which he was joking. Anybody who thinks that he wasn't joking, like, you're kind of retarded. Like, it was a joke. The problem is that the conservatives in Canada were in a spot, and the conservatives in Canada are probably like a centrist here in the U.S. That would be almost every rifle or firearm ever, Repo. Like, because what they'll do is they'll say how does that get classified? Unless it's because there's the civilian versions and the military versions, the designations. So what they'll do is they'll say something about the action, because they've already kind of done that with semi-autos, or they'll say something about the caliber, and then they'll ban it that way. It's actually probably pretty decently high, candy cane. But the conservative dude who was looking like he was going to get elected, instead of just laughing off the joke and saying, obviously this is a funny joke and like it'll be nice to have some conservative values and support. Instead, he kind of went, nah, this is inappropriate and all that. And so then it kind of sparked that whole Canada hates Trump. Canada hates Trump. Canada hates Trump. And Canada kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. Because I could have seen Canada kind of getting some reversal on some of the shit that they've done had that conservative dude been elected. But that didn't happen. Part of it, I'm going to say, part of it is Trump opening his mouth, which pretty much anytime he does that, like, he's not good. I'm pretty sure he's autistic. Like, he doesn't know how to make a joke sound like a joke. He just sounds serious all the time, and people are like, is he joking? What's going on? So that's kind of what I think happened personally. And then it just kind of went from there. But man, we've got 13 people. I haven't done a lot of these, and so I think that's part of why my views have been really down. I did put out some, I thought I put out some pretty funny shorts earlier today. I mean, the funny thought one, that one's at like 600 views. Remember that time? Remember that time I had a video that had 3 million views? That was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure El Presidente's got a little bit of the tism. I'm pretty sure he's got a little bit of the tism. Tusk. I don't know what the official answer is, but I have family that used to live in Canada. They live here in Utah now, and they are Native American, and they would say yes. They would say yes. Hold on just a second. That probably isn't a very intelligent move if your goal is to commit a mass shooting. Look at me, I'm openly carrying a gun. Look at me, I'm openly carrying a gun. But don't pay attention, I'm definitely not going to do anything, and then start doing something. That is an extremely IQ deficient individual. Oh, hold on, what's this? Okay. Sorry, I was checking my X. My X has kind of been blown up today. So, which again, if you guys are following me on here, you need to be following me on X and Instagram and Facebook, because I'm trying to do. Isn't autism a spectrum? You can't make sweeping generalities of so. It is a spectrum, but it's also a single diagnosis. Yogi Bear, yes, Arizona is much better. Although, I don't know how long Arizona is going to be that way, because your senator and your governor are both hard R retards. So, like, you've got that going against you, which is super awesome. Dude, trust me, as someone who definitely has a touch of the tism, you guys know that, and as someone who has children that definitely have a touch of the tism, I promise you, like, President Trump, the way he sometimes delivers his jokes, like he's funny when he's not trying to be funny, and then when he's trying to be funny, people get offended. Like, trust me, that is like stereotypical, like freaking handwritten. That is the tism. The tism. I like Linus. I think Linus is funny. Pretty sure he's on the tism. Look, I voted for Trump. Okay, I don't have a problem. Do I think that Trump is perfect? No, I knew that he wasn't perfect. I knew he wasn't perfect when I voted for him before. Okay, do I like him as a person? Not exactly. Not very much. Do I think he's doing a pretty good job as the president? I think he's doing a pretty good job. I wish that he would get rid of some people like RFK. Not a fan of RFK. Not a fan of Pam Bondi. Not really sure what Kash Patel has done. Like, I would love to see like some actual change happen on behalf of the Second Amendment. I'd like to see like some actual change happen with tax law, which hasn't happened. No, I did not. I haven't watched Linus in a while. So there's just a couple things that he and then he just gets so sidetracked with shit. Like, I get it. People will verbally attack him, and he just can't let that go. People are like, you know, whatever, and he just goes off. Like, it was hilarious when he was like, the seriously retarded Tim Walz. Like, that was hilarious. It was hilarious because everybody knows that. Yogi Bear. Oh, right there is a flare launcher. Flare launcher. We have to make sure it is a flare launcher, which is an emergency tool, and so it is perfectly legal, doesn't require a background check, and yep, no 41, no 4473, none of that. Yep. We have to make sure that we talk about it's a flare launcher. It's definitely not from exoticammo.com. Definitely not from exoticammo.com. You definitely can't go to that website and see them and ammunition for it. That is all flare-based ammunition, not at all things like flashbangs for animal or other things control, or like fireworks that make booms and flash and have concussion, could set things on fire. There's definitely none of that at exoticammo.com. But and I would never advocate for anyone to go to those websites and do that kind of thing, because we don't sell or advocate firearms on this channel. This video is going to get demonetized, I promise you. I currently have 15 pieces of flare, types of flare for it. I have 15. No, you're good, dude. You're good, Yogi. I was just wanted you to know that, you know, I mean, Fish Sticks and this whole room is a gun locker, Fish Sticks. The whole room's a gun locker. I don't know why my computer's... There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, this door is a fire rated door. It's got like a keyed bolt on the outside. So, the whole room is a safe, is a locker. And I'm hoping that for Christmas, I'm getting a rack so that I can hang everything up on the wall. And then I'll have to move all the patches and stuff somewhere else. But, you know, that'll be fun. It would be more organized, but then it wouldn't be as fun. You wouldn't be able to see as much. So, there's that. Man, I was really hoping that we would get some lefties in here that would be all angry. I don't even think. I mean, I put like keywords. I put like Trump, America, controversial. Usually that brings in a couple of lefties, but the YouTube algorithm's been really dumb lately. So, but anyways, well, shit. This has been a good conversation, but I actually have to get ready to go get my daughter. Because I haven't done them in a long time, and I got hit. I got hit with that strike. My channel's been hurting since I got that strike in November. So I think in February my strike comes off. That's why I've been very careful about what I post. And yeah, so I've had to be really careful. And I'll have to continue. I believe that you can put in the code Zesty Utah if you go to that website. I know that you can use the code Zesty Utah for Stifler, Stifler Manufacturing. You can get, I think, 10 or 15% off any of his slides. Jesus, what's going on, buddy? Trying to think of what else. Yeah, pretty sure that you can go use the code Zesty Utah on exoticammo.com, and you can also use the code at Stifler Manufacturing. So I'm not sure who is here. It could be my daughter. It could be my pretend adopted daughter. It's my pretend adopted daughter.
It's me.
Is Riley not here?
She's at indoor track.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
Okay.
here to clean her room.
Why are you cleaning her room?
Because I also made a mess.
But was it messy before you got here?
No, she cleaned it before I got here.
Did she?
She did. Trust.
I don't know that I do trust you.
Plus, I'm a good sister. So.
Sure. So anyways, yeah. It's a piece of trash. I thought that was like. Hi, kitty. I see you. Really? That's interesting. I might have to do that thing that I did. I might have to like kind of bombard YouTube with just a bunch of reruns. I might do that. Bombard it with a bunch of reruns just to get my algorithm going again. Because somebody is going to watch something. And it'll show up in their feed, even if it doesn't recommend everything. It's going to eventually like kick into something. Because if you're constantly putting out videos, YouTube has to do stuff. I am Groot. They are real guns. They're allowed on stream because I'm not playing with them. They're just sitting there, not doing anything. I did a whole video about this. I left one of them. I left that shotgun, that black one. I left that one out all day, and it didn't do anything. It was literally like upstairs by the front door, and it didn't try to hurt anybody or anything. Yes, this cat is real. Hey. How are you? How are you, Miss Aurora? Miss Princess Aurora? Hello. That was some very Ezra level autism, wasn't it? You are kind of filthy. Hi, I am Groot. You have to look for my lives? Yeah. It's because I haven't been doing the lives as often. If I start doing the lives again, when I was doing them like 3 or 4 times a week, that's when my channel was growing. That's when that's when I was making money. So I need to start doing that again, especially since I have to. My dog has his. Hey, Focused is here somewhere. Especially since face the facts. You're right. I do have tiny fingers. Look. See? They're way tinier than the guns. My fingers are a lot smaller than the guns. Look at them. Smaller than the hatchet. Some of my fingers are smaller than this patch on the wall. Desert Armory, it's Jerome. Hey, kitty. Yeah, Face the Facts has it down. He knows what it's about. Do you know what the difference between a gun owner with a tiny dick and a liberal is? The gun owner with the tiny dick laughs about it and has his guns. The liberal with the tiny dick just points out that the gun owner has guns. It's not very funny, but it's true. That's the difference between me and people that talk about how tiny my penis is I don't care how tiny my penis is. I still get to own guns and you just get to cry about it. Hi. She's in a loving mood. Anyways, so that's always fun. I see he left. I see that dude left. Oh, we hit the 40-minute mark. So people that aren't actively in the chat are gone. Dude, you know who's gonna run in 2028 for the Libs? It's not gonna be Gavin Newsom. It's gonna be Mark Kelly. It's gonna be the Arizona Senator. Like, he's a NASA astronaut. He's a captain in the Navy. He says he is all for firearms. He just wants people to be responsible. His wife was in, that attempted assassination. Like, all of those things, he says he's for law and order. He says all those things. So, like, he is like a dark horse. Sounds like he could be more moderate. But I guarantee you, he is just as bad, if not worse, than, like, the Clintons. He and Gabrielle Giffords are the worst. Because they have no problem lying through their teeth about things. Like, this is a dude who's in the military, or who was in the military, he, like, straight up called for sedition. And anyone who says that his video wasn't sedition, like, that person's also kind of retarded. So, because think about it, like, no laws are being broken. There are no unlawful orders or illegal orders that are being given. So why make a video to tell people that they should disregard unlawful orders unless you're trying to get people to disregard and commit sedition? Why threaten that you can be persecuted? Like, yes, you could, and we know that. We get briefed on it a lot. Like, a lot. We don't need you to remind us of that. We have to go through a training like every 6 months about it. But when you are saying that there's unlawful orders, when you're talking about unlawful orders and all these things, but not saying, like, claiming that there are, but then not saying which ones are unlawful, and then saying you should definitely disobey unlawful orders. Like, that's sedition, and especially coming from someone who is a retired captain. That comes across as very, very, very inappropriate. But that's how it goes. Politicians can do what they want. When people say things like, when a politician says, if they're willing to do this to a congressman or to a senator or to a governor, if they'll do this, like the lady who was like a congressional rep that was shoved to the ground by ICE, and they said, if they're willing to do this to this person, that's them openly admitting that they believe that politicians get a different form of justice and law and order than the rest of us. So, all right, everybody, we're 45 minutes in. I know that some of you have just joined us. I'm going to go ahead and kill this stream. It's, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try to do another live stream later tonight, as long as I don't have anything going on with my kids and my wife. If I have that freedom, I'm going to try to get on later tonight in 4 or 5 hours, and we will try to have some fun. Somewhere between 3 and 5 hours, we'll do another stream, and maybe we'll get a bunch of people in here that time, and we'll see what it does. So, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Go watch my videos. Go share them. Remember, please go. If you're not on X and Instagram and Facebook, the best way to help the channel in general, it's not just the YouTube. Like, the best way to help content creators like myself grow is to go and follow us on all the different platforms. I'm not on TikTok because I'm not a communist and I'm not gay. But you can definitely go follow me on X, on Facebook, on Instagram Threads, and obviously you guys are here on YouTube. So, love you guys. Stay zesty, stay sexy. Always carry every day. Always carry with a round in the chamber. Guns and kitty, pussycat guns.